Hi guys, it's been a while since I posted a video here on YouTube on this channel, but today I wanted to share a little bit inside my mother morning basket because it changes over the months, and so I wanted to give you a look into how it is and is going to be looking for the next little while. Now, I have been spending most of my time and will be spending most of my time this year investing into my homeschool membership that I announced at the end of last year. It's just an exclusive place where I share lots more videos, tons of resources that are up in my shop, but people in the membership get the stuff for free. The membership is only $30 for the entire year. There's definitely a cat in my office here. It's $30 for an entire year, and you get a $25 gift card for my shop, plus lots of stuff for free. It's a no-brainer. As someone that doesn't enjoy being salesy, but needs to make a little bit of an income, this is like a no-brainer for me as a seller, and I feel like it's a no-brainer for homeschoolers. I'm gonna let my cat out and then we will resume this discussion. So the term mother culture is very much used in the Charlotte Mason homeschool method, of which I kind of aspire to, but will never reach it. It's too structured for me, but I pull a lot of inspiration from the Charlotte Mason method, and although I have since found that the term mother culture is actually trademarked. So this is my mother morning basket. It's also not a basket. But as mothers, we need to be continually growing if we are going to be teaching our children. And today I want to take you inside what I do in the morning. We're not going to go in the order that I go in. Should we go in the order that I go in? Let's go in the order I go in. I'll walk you through a typical morning. So the first thing I start with in the morning is my Bible. Now, I've done this different, what I'm reading and what I'm studying has been different over the years. Right now, I'm focusing on 2 books of the Bible. This one is the ESV Study Bible. It's a slightly more compact version than the normal ESV Study Bible, but it has the same stuff, just in smaller font. So I'm reading through Luke because that is the book of the Bible that my church is going through. So I know ahead of time the verses we're going to be doing on Sunday. So at some point during the week, I read through those verses and take notes and do my own study of the section, and then on Sunday I take notes based on what the pastor preached on. I did a little flip through of my journal over on my membership site. The month of January I was just doing 1 minute encouraging kind of clips, little resources, looks into our homeschool over in the membership, and a look inside of here was one of them. And then the other book that I am studying is Ephesians. So I'm doing this the other days of the week when I'm not in Luke, because the first section we had in Luke with my church was 4 verses. So I couldn't spread studying that over an entire week. So I'm also doing Ephesians, and for Ephesians, I'm actually writing the whole book out as I study it, because I tend to read a lot and be a speed reader. Speed reading has its benefits, but I don't want to be speed reading my Bible. So I'm taking time and I'm writing out the verses. It will be the entire book so far. I just started chapter 2 this morning, and then I take sections and I study those sections as well. Draw mind maps, all sorts of stuff like that in here. So that is what I do first thing in the morning. Now, I also have a prayer journal, which I just filled up. So I asked over on Instagram for ideas on what people do for their prayer journals. A few years ago, I wrote a blog post that gave a few different ways I've done it over the years. I probably could add a few to that now. I find for me, I need a journal. If I'm just praying in my head, I get very distracted. Very squirrel, oh, shiny object, something like that. So I need a prayer journal, but I like to change up how I do it every now and then. And because I just filled up my prayer journal, I'm looking at different ways that I could be doing it next. So I don't have anything in particular to show you for that, but I will leave my old blog post linked below if you want to see a few ways that I've done it over the years. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the next way to do that. But normally that's kind of where I would be at next in my morning. Then I pull out my binder. Now, if you've watched any of my mother morning basket morning time videos, this binder will have popped up. I have a few different things in here I'll go through pretty quickly because I've shared about most of them before. The first thing is my reading journal. Like I said, I read a lot. I have a whole YouTube channel just about the books that I read, never mind like all the books we read in our homeschool. So I go through and I write down books that I finished the day before, books that I've started. I started this last April and I'm about halfway through it. I intentionally made this to have room for a lot of different books in here. So I update this. In my binder here, I do have my like 60-day Bible reading plan and my 90-day Bible reading plan just in page protectors because I'm not doing those plans right now, but I will again in the future, and I do have those on my website as well. I can link those in case anyone's interested. There is benefits to reading through the Bible quickly, and then there's benefits to taking it slow. The last few years I've done it in a more quick approach. This year I'm going slow. Then the next thing I have, I'm currently actually not using, I printed out a digital, no, it was a digital and then I printed it out, like day planner type thing, and that's just not really working for me this year. Wanted to give it a try. That's not really what I'm going to be focusing on. For my planning, I'm heading more digital, which is good mostly. I do like paper though. Then I've got my line a day. I talk about this every time that I share my mother culture journal or basket, because I have been doing this for years. I write a few sentences of something that, I'm not sure if I should say any, oh no, can't show that page. Too many like foster kids names on these. Anyway, I won't show you inside, but it's a few lines and it's just a little, I take a few minutes to write something brief that we did the day before that happened, a funny thing the kids said, etc. My mother line a day journal has space for 8 years worth of daily documentation. So in a few years, I'm going to be able to look back and see what we did on that day the previous 7 years. I do have this as like a printable, it's like a printed book through Amazon as well, and my kids have the printed books. I started mine before that, but I wish I would have gone the printed book route, but maybe in another 6.5 years when I'm done this. So I always take some time to do that. And then after this, I have goal sheets in here. So when I make goals for the beginning of the year, I like to print out either check boxes. This is a 52 things challenge I created, and it has, my goal is to write 52 old school blog posts, and then if I've done that, then I go through and I check things off. I'm generally looking ahead from like the day, or behind from the day before. Did I do anything there that I can check off? So I've got a few different things kind of like that. And then I have a page of my like all my goals for the year. So my personal goals, my business goals, my reading goals. I have a blog post on my site with all of those, and then I go through and I like to check them off. And then I have a few of my like books I want to read in 2023. I've got a list of fiction ones and a list of nonfiction. And then my 2023 Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. I keep track of that here as well. So that is what my binder looks like. This really doesn't take that long to go through. I know pretty quickly if I did something the day before that I can check off. So this just takes a few minutes. Now, once I've gone through all of that, then it's time to do some reading. And so I thought I would show you the nonfiction books that I'm currently reading and what I plan to read in the next little while. First of all, I am slowly, but want to read it quickly, going through Ellen Montgomery's complete journals. So this is the PEI years, 1889 to 1900. I'm not very far yet, and that is because I'm trying to pace myself, but I am loving this. This starts out with Ellen Montgomery as a 14-year-old girl just writing about her life. And there's pictures in here, and it's been so much fun. So this is one of the things, I don't read it every day, but after I'm done my other things, I have some time, it depends on the day, anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes to read some nonfiction. So I have this. Generally what I start with though for the nonfiction reading time is, right now I'm reading through Mom Heart Moments. This is Daily Devotions for Life-Giving Motherhood by Sally Clarkson. So these are just like, in some ways, your typical daily devotional. She starts with a verse, she's got her devotion, but then she like leaves you with something to think about or take action on. And I feel like Sally, her devotionals are just not like the normal surface level, like some people's devotionals where she's like, okay, yeah, I read that, check that box, forget about that the rest of the day. I feel like hers go deeper, and that is what I always appreciate about all of her books that I've read. So I'm enjoying this. Then I'm also currently reading The Truth About Us, The Very Good News About How Very Bad We Are by Brant Hansen. This is it's like a deep book, but he approaches it with his humor that helps it just be an easy read. I'm almost done this one. Well, more than halfway done. I've been reading like either a chapter or two a day. And then in February, in my membership, we are going to be doing a book club for Holy Huga, creating a place for people to gather and the gospel to grow. Now this sounds perfect for me. This is all about how we can, I'll just read the little blurb here. It says, before God made humanity, he made a home for them. He built a sacred place, and we can do the same. So that's what the book's all about. We're going to be reading this over the 4 weeks in February over on the membership, and then if people are interested, I'm totally willing to have like a Zoom discussion afterwards. We're going to discuss the chapters like in the forum that I have there throughout the month, but then if we want to have a nice big book chat afterwards, I'm totally up for that. So I'm going to be reading this in February, and then because I'm almost done this one's super short, it's like 200 pages. I will read one more nonfiction in February, and I have it on my cart here. I'm going to pull it out. The next one that I'm the most excited to read is Aggressively Happy by Joy Marie Clarkson. So she is the daughter to Sally Clarkson, one of the daughters, and this is a realist guide to believing in the goodness of life. I really don't know a whole lot about it. Discover the way toward a lighter, braver, and wiser life, it says on the back. From what I've heard, it's really, really good, and I feel like the middle of winter is a really good time to try to be aggressively happy. So this is the other book that will be adding into my stack here after I am done, at least after I'm done The Truth About Us. So then after that is usually time for me to like wake up the kids because they're like preteens and sleeping in. This is such a weird stage of life. I don't even know how to deal with this. It's good, but it's different. And then we get started in our homeschool day. So I hope that gives you a bit of a look inside what my morning time looks like right now in this stage of life. If you have littles, I totally get it, been there. I did this same idea with littles, it just took longer. I would love suggestions if you guys have some more nonfiction books to suggest for me to read in the future. And if you're interested at all in joining in on the book club for this, I will leave a link for the membership below. And like I said, that is where I will be focusing most of my time this year. I will be having more videos there, lots of products I will be putting out, unit studies, nature journals, that kind of thing. But I will put out videos here on a semi-regular basis. I'm not committing to anything in particular, but I don't want to completely give up this YouTube channel. So thanks so much for being here, guys. Let me know all about your mother morning time in the comments below.